In the vast, cold expanse of the intergalactic conference hall, June Park stood alone, his dark blue uniform pressed neatly against his slim frame, contrasting sharply with the metallic gray walls surrounding him. The Galactic Council representatives watched him with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. The hall was filled with beings from 100 different worlds. Some looked like crystalline structures, others resembled liquid formations, and a few appeared almost mechanical. They had one thing in common: they saw the world differently from humans. Karam, the lead alien diplomat, approached June with measured steps. His body shifted between translucent and solid, a typical trait of his species. "Human representative," he spoke through a complex translation device. "Explain your species' presence in this diplomatic meeting." June smiled. He knew this moment was critical. Humans were the newest members of the Galactic Council, and their reputation was still uncertain. Many alien species viewed them as unpredictable, almost primitive compared to their advanced civilizations. "I'm here to discuss our perspective," June replied calmly. He pulled out a small holographic device and projected an image of a landscape. To the alien representatives, it looked like a uniform gray surface. But as June began describing it, something strange happened. "Look at how the morning light touches the mountain," he said. "See the soft lavender shadows mixing with the deep slate gray rocks. The grass isn't just green. It's a complex blend of emerald and olive, with tiny golden highlights where the sunlight breaks through." The translation device struggled to convert his words. The alien representatives started shifting uncomfortably. Their visual systems processed light entirely differently. To them, color was a concept, not a living, breathing experience. Yuki Tanaka, a human research scientist seated behind June, watched carefully. She knew what was happening. Humans perceived color as a rich emotional experience. Their eyes could detect subtle variations that other species couldn't even imagine. Karam leaned forward, his translucent form flickering. "What are you describing? These variations you speak of, they do not compute in our sensory systems." June remained patient. He understood this was more than a diplomatic meeting. This was a moment of potential breakthrough or complete misunderstanding. "Color isn't just light," June explained. "It's information. It's emotion. It's a way of understanding the world around us." To demonstrate, he pulled out a series of color charts. What looked like identical gray squares to the alien representatives were, to human eyes, a complex landscape of different shades and emotional temperatures. Some alien delegates started whispering among themselves. Their communication systems were working overtime, trying to process what the human was explaining. It was like hearing a language they had never encountered before. Dr. Rosa Martinez, another human researcher, stepped forward. "Our visual perception is unique," she added. "We don't just see light, we experience it." The room fell silent. The implications were enormous. If humans could perceive color in ways no other species could, what did that mean for technology? For warfare? For understanding the universe? Karam's form shifted rapidly, indicating intense processing. "We need to investigate this," he finally announced. Immediately, June knew this was just the beginning. Humans had just introduced something to the Galactic Council that would change everything. A new way of seeing, of understanding, of experiencing the universe. As the meeting continued, the alien representatives kept stealing glances at June. He remained calm, confident. He knew that sometimes the most powerful weapon wasn't advanced technology or complex strategies. Sometimes it was simply the ability to see the world differently. The research facility hummed with electric anticipation. Pristine white walls and gleaming equipment surrounded a team of scientists from multiple alien species, all focused on one peculiar subject: human color perception. Dr. Hana Kim stood at the center of the room, her confident posture a stark contrast to the nervous alien researchers around her. She held a simple collection of color samples that looked identical to most non-human eyes. To her, they were a vibrant landscape of differences. "We will demonstrate something extraordinary," she announced. The alien scientists had brought their most advanced scanning equipment, machines that could detect quantum variations, electromagnetic shifts, and microscopic changes were carefully positioned around the testing area. June Park sat in the central examination chair, looking relaxed. He knew what was coming. The aliens. Didn't Dr. Rosa Martinez began the first test? She displayed what appeared to be 10 identical gray squares. To the alien researchers, these were perfectly uniform. No difference existed between them. June, she said, describe these squares. Without hesitation, June started speaking. The first square has a slight blue undertone. The second carries a hint of green. The third has warm brown shadows. The fourth, it's almost silver, but with a delicate purple whisper. The translation devices went crazy. Complex algorithms struggled to convert his descriptions. The alien researchers looked at each other in confusion. Karam, the lead alien researcher, approached the display. His sensory appendages moved across the squares, detecting absolutely no variation. "This is impossible," he muttered. But the scanning equipment told a different story. Microscopic spectral variations were indeed present, variations that human eyes could detect but alien systems could not. One of the alien scientists, a crystalline being named Zara, adjusted her complex visual sensors. "How are you seeing these differences?" she asked, genuine curiosity in her electronic voice. Hana smiled. "Human eyes have evolved differently. We don't just see light. We interpret it." Further tests revealed something even more shocking. Humans could detect emotional temperatures and colors. A gray wasn't just gray. It could feel cold, warm, heavy, or light. It could trigger memories, emotional responses, psychological reactions. The research team began comprehensive studies. They discovered that human color perception wasn't just a biological quirk. It was a complex system of information processing that went far beyond simple light detection. Yuki Tanaka, another researcher, started mapping human visual responses. She found that different colors triggered specific brain responses. A warm red might increase heart rate. A soft blue could induce calmness. These were not just visual experiences. They were complete sensory interactions. The alien researchers were stunned. Their own visual systems were primarily functional, designed for survival, navigation, and basic environmental understanding. Human vision was something else entirely, a rich emotional experience of the world. Karam reviewed the data repeatedly. "This changes everything," he said quietly. "Everything we understand about perception is wrong." The implications were massive. Military strategists realized humans could detect camouflage patterns invisible to other species. Industrial designers saw potential for revolutionary color-adaptive technologies. Psychologists understood a new dimension of emotional experience. Days turned into weeks. More tests, more discoveries. Human color perception wasn't just different, it was revolutionary. "We're not just seeing," Hana explained during one briefing. "We're interpreting. Colors tell stories. They communicate emotions. They're a language all their own. The Galactic Council would never be the same. Humans had introduced something unprecedented, a way of experiencing the universe that was deeply personal, emotionally rich, and scientifically complex." As the research continued, one thing became clear. Humans were not just another species in the galaxy. They were something entirely unique. The Technology Development Center bustled with intense activity. Alien and human engineers worked side by side, their workstations filled with complex holographic displays and experimental prototypes. Yuki Tanaka stood at the center of the innovation hub, her eyes scanning multiple screens simultaneously. She understood something the other researchers were just beginning to realize. Human color perception wasn't just a biological curiosity, it was a technological goldmine. The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A military engineer named Park Jinho discovered that human color detection could revolutionize camouflage technology. Where alien detection systems saw uniform surfaces, human eyes could spot microscopic variations that revealed hidden objects. "Look at this," Jinho said, demonstrating a new adaptive camouflage system. He showed how traditional alien technologies failed to detect objects, while the human-designed system could reveal even the most carefully hidden structures. The alien military representatives were stunned. Their most advanced scanning technologies were suddenly obsolete. Karam, the lead research coordinator, watched the demonstrations with growing excitement. "This changes everything about military strategy," he commented. The implications were massive. Detection systems, surveillance technologies, and defensive mechanisms would need complete redesign. But military applications were just the beginning. Industrial designers started exploring color-adaptive materials that could change properties based on environmental conditions. A material that could shift its molecular structure in response to color variations could revolutionize construction, transportation, and medical technologies. Dr. Rosa Martinez developed the first cross-species color translation device. It could convert human color perception into signals that other alien species could understand. The device wasn't just a translator, it was a bridge between different sensory experiences. Researchers discovered that human color perception could solve complex problems in unexpected ways. Scientific visualization became more advanced. Medical. Scanning technologies could detect subtle variations invisible to other species. Engineering design reached new levels of precision. One remarkable breakthrough came in communication technologies. Human color perception allowed for more nuanced information transfer. A simple color shift could communicate complex emotional and technical information faster than traditional communication methods. The Technology Development Center became a hub of constant innovation. Alien species from across the galaxy started sending research teams to study human color perception. What had once seemed like a simple biological trait was now recognized as a revolutionary technological capability. Jinho's team developed adaptive camouflage suits that could change color and texture instantaneously. Military strategists realized these suits could provide unprecedented tactical advantages. Soldiers could blend into any environment with perfect precision. Quantum researchers discovered that human color perception was linked to a deeper understanding of light and energy. The way humans processed color information suggested new approaches to quantum communication and energy transfer. Karam watched the developments with a sense of wonder. "Humans are not just another species," he told his colleagues. "They are a technological catalyst." The economic implications were enormous. Companies began developing color-adaptive technologies for everything from building materials to communication systems. Human researchers became some of the most sought-after experts in the galaxy. Medical technologies also saw rapid advancement. Doctors could now detect subtle health variations through color perception that previous scanning technologies had missed. Diagnostic processes became more precise and faster. As weeks turned into months, the technological landscape transformed. Human color perception wasn't just a scientific curiosity anymore. It was a fundamental tool for understanding and manipulating the universe. Yuki watched the continuous stream of innovations with quiet satisfaction. What had started as a simple research project had become a revolution. The galaxy would never be the same. And color, something most species had taken for granted, was now the most valuable resource in technological development. The Galactic Council chamber grew silent when the discussion about human color perception began. Tensions had been building for months, and today would be the breaking point. Representatives from different alien species sat in their designated areas. Some looked like living crystals, others resembled complex mechanical structures. But they all shared one concern: humans and their unexpected technological advantages. Karam, the primary diplomatic representative, stood at the center platform. His translucent body flickered with nervous energy. "We must discuss the human color perception situation," he announced. The Zori delegation, a species known for their aggressive military stance, spoke first. Their representative, A sharp-edged crystalline being demanded immediate restrictions on human technological development. These humans are a potential threat, the Zori representative declared. Their ability to perceive color gives them strategic advantages we cannot match. Military strategists from various species began presenting evidence. Human-developed technologies could detect hidden spacecraft, penetrate advanced camouflage systems, and create more effective communication networks. The implications were clear. Humans had become a significant strategic concern. June Park, the human diplomatic representative, listened carefully. He knew this moment was critical. One wrong move could escalate tensions or start a conflict. Behind the scenes, human researchers continued their work. Dr. Hana Kim and her team were developing even more advanced color perception technologies. They understood the delicate political balance, but also knew the potential of their discoveries. The council debated for hours. Some species wanted to restrict human technological development. Others saw potential for collaboration. The room was filled with a mix of fear, curiosity, and strategic calculation. A representative from the peaceful Quantum Collective offered a different perspective. We should not see this as a threat, they suggested, but as an opportunity for understanding. June decided to speak. His voice was calm but firm. Color perception is not a weapon, he explained. It's a way of understanding the universe. We're offering collaboration, not conflict. The Zori delegation remained unconvinced. They presented scenarios showing how human color technologies could be used for military advantage. Hidden ships could be detected. Tactical movements could be predicted with unprecedented accuracy. Karam worked to maintain diplomatic balance. He understood both the potential threat and the incredible scientific opportunity. Humans had introduced something entirely new to galactic civilization. Military strategists from different species began wargaming scenarios. They discovered that human color perception could completely change battlefield dynamics. Traditional stealth technologies would become obsolete. Some alien species proposed strict regulations. They wanted to control human research, limit technological development, and prevent what they saw as a potential existential threat. June knew the real challenge was not technological, but psychological. Humans were offering a new way of perceiving the universe. Fear was the primary obstacle. The debate continued for days. Diplomatic channels buzzed with discussions, negotiations, and strategic planning. Every species tried to understand the implications of human color perception. Dr. Rosa Martinez presented research showing the peaceful potential of their technologies. Medical applications, communication improvements, and scientific discoveries were highlighted. She showed that human perception was about understanding, not domination. The Quantum Collective proposed a collaborative research initiative. Instead of restricting human technologies, they suggested a joint development program that would benefit all species. Tensions remained high, but something was changing. Fear was slowly being replaced by curiosity. The initial shock of human capabilities was transforming into a potential opportunity. Karam understood the historical significance of this moment. Humans had introduced something that would change galactic civilization forever. Color perception was more than a technological advantage. It was a new way of understanding existence. As the council meeting concluded, no final decision was made. But a new conversation had begun. Humans were no longer just another species in the galaxy. They were a transformative force. 10 years had passed since the first human color perception revelation. The galaxy looked completely different now. June. Park stood on the observation deck of the Galactic Unity Station, watching spacecraft from 100 different species move around him. His reflection showed a man who had witnessed something extraordinary, a complete transformation of galactic civilization. Human researchers had become the most sought-after experts across multiple scientific disciplines. Their unique ability to perceive and interpret color had revolutionized everything from medical technologies to military strategies. The Galactic Council building, once a place of tension and suspicion, now represented collaborative innovation. Species that once viewed each other with distrust now worked together, guided by human color perception technologies. Dr. Hana Kim had developed the first universal color translation network. It allowed different species to understand color, not just as light but as a complex communication system. Medical facilities could now diagnose diseases across species boundaries. Military systems could create adaptive camouflage that worked for multiple biological structures. Karam, who had initially been skeptical, now led the Interspecies Color Research Initiative. His crystalline body moved through research corridors, filled with scientists from dozens of worlds. Humans were no longer seen as newcomers but as essential partners in galactic development. The economic impact was staggering. Companies developed color-adaptive technologies for transportation, communication, and environmental management. Human color perception had become a valuable resource, more important than rare minerals or advanced energy systems. Educational systems across the galaxy changed. Schools now taught color perception as a fundamental way of understanding the universe. Young aliens learned about human visual capabilities, recognizing them as a breakthrough in sensory experience. Military strategies transformed completely. Traditional stealth technologies became obsolete. Spacecraft design incorporated human-developed color detection systems. Defensive mechanisms could now predict and counter complex threats with unprecedented accuracy. Quantum researchers discovered that human color perception was linked to deeper understanding of energy and light. New communication technologies emerged that could transmit complex information through color variations. On distant colony worlds, humans worked alongside alien species. Their ability to see and interpret color became a bridge between different civilizations. What was once a potential source of conflict had become a tool for understanding. The Zori, who had initially seen humans as a threat, now requested human researchers for their most advanced scientific projects. Their military had completely redesigned its detection systems based on human color perception technologies. Dr. Rosa Martinez led a team developing cross-species medical technologies. Her work allowed doctors to understand health variations across different biological structures, saving millions of lives. Diplomatic missions became more nuanced. Color was no longer just a visual experience but a complex language of communication. Human diplomats could read emotional and strategic subtleties that traditional communication systems missed. Space exploration reached new heights. Spacecraft could now detect and interpret environmental conditions with incredible precision. Planetary surveys became more detailed and accurate. June watched a group of young alien scientists working together. They represented a new generation, one that saw color not as a human advantage but as a universal language of understanding. The transformation was complete. Humans had not conquered the galaxy through military might or advanced technology. They had changed everything by simply seeing the world differently. Karam approached June, his crystalline form reflecting the station's lights and complex color patterns. "We never imagined," he said, "that seeing could be so powerful." June smiled. The galaxy had learned something fundamental. Perception is not just about what you see, but how you understand what you see. As spacecraft moved silently outside, carrying scientists, diplomats, and explorers from 100 worlds, one thing was clear. The human ability to see color had done more than change technology. It had changed how civilizations understood each other.